This week, President Obama visited the new marijuana capital of America, Colorado. So naturally, he was offered a joint.
There we go, Brown.
You want a headband?
But the president laughed it off, a hearty guffaw. Meanwhile, he's perpetuating a drug war that's thrown millions of non-violent offenders in prison, ripped apart families and communities at a cost of billions of dollars a year. But there's actually another force working hard to keep marijuana illegal, and it's not the prison industrial complex nor the Bacon Bowl. Sam Sachs tells us more from the redacted front lines.
This week, we lost Washington State. It joined Colorado, becoming one of only 2 states where you can legally buy weed. Like in actual stores and shit. You don't have to go to this guy and pretend to enjoy rave music with him anymore. Now, with news reports on marijuana, it's become vogue for the reporter to really get into the story, to experiment with what they're reporting on.
I think we got a little bit of a contact high there.
I'm going to do something different. I'm going to not get high during this entire report. Oh, this is going to be tough. This is going to be really hard. With marijuana legally on sale in the state, Washingtonians can expect the same drug-fueled dystopia that engulfed Colorado, which started slinging its own dope late last year. And that is lower crime rates, thousands of new jobs, and millions of dollars in new tax revenue. Which might not sound so bad to you, but you're not a pharmaceutical company, or a corrections corporation, which we know are both people.
Corporations are people, my friend.
I'm not your friend. Dozens of other states are considering loosening marijuana restrictions, and a handful of those are considering going full reefer madness and legalizing it like Colorado and Washington. For the first time, a majority of Americans around the country now support marijuana legalization. But still, there are forces out there who want to keep the war going, and who don't want you getting high. Scratch that, who don't want you getting high on pot. As investigative journalist Lee Fong has uncovered, the real reason pot is still illegal in most of the country is because pharmaceutical companies want you taking their drugs instead. Marijuana is proven to have medicinal value, and it doesn't kill 16,000 people a year like prescription painkillers. However, since it's grown fairly easily, it can't make the pharmaceutical company billions of dollars, which now has Americans consuming roughly 100% of the world's hydrocodone supply, half of which is consumed by this guy. And to make sure none of these pillheads turn into potheads,
Shut up, shut up!
Big Pharma is funneling some of its addiction money into making sure pot is never legal. Take, for example, the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids. Confidential financial disclosures show that the group's largest donors include Purdue Pharma, the manufacturer of OxyContin, and Abbott Laboratories, maker of the opioid Vicodin. And what about the Community Anti-Drug Coalition of America, CADCA, the largest anti-marijuana reform organization out there? Turns out CADCA also counts Purdue Pharma as a major supporter, as well as Alkermes, the maker of a powerful and extremely controversial new painkiller called Zohydrol, which is reportedly 10 times stronger than OxyContin. Ultimately, what this comes down to is protecting markets and profits. Big Pharma has the painkiller market of billions of dollars on lockdown, but for only as long as marijuana remains mostly illegal. And not just illegal, but the most illegal drug. Despite lawmakers calling on the Drug Enforcement Agency to update its drug schedules to reflect modern science on the actual risks of marijuana, these big pharma-funded organizations have lobbied the Justice Department to make sure that marijuana remains a Schedule I drug, alongside heroin, LSD, and ecstasy. But surely we can expect the DEA, an agency not run for profit that doesn't have its fingers in the painkiller biz, to know better, and to finally recognize pot for what it is, a drug that's mostly harmless and has many medicinal benefits.
Is crack worse for a person than marijuana?
I believe all illegal drugs are bad.
Is methamphetamine worse for somebody's health than marijuana?
I don't think any illegal drug
Is
good.
heroin worse for someone's health than marijuana?
Again,
See, I'm asking you a very straightforward question. Is heroin worse for someone's health than marijuana?
all illegal drugs are bad.
Well, maybe she's got a point. After all, when you're on pot and you're just sitting around eating Nilla wafers, watching American Ninja Warrior, you are contributing to the downfall of the painkiller pharmaceutical industry, which is a person. So that's kind of like murder. In Washington, D.C., Sam Sachs, Redacted Tonight. Are we done yet? Jesus, that's the longest I've ever had.